After much anticipation, the eShop is finally available for the Nintendo 3DS via an update earlier this week, and with it, it brings the first retro Nintendo game from yesteryear, remastered in stereoscopic 3D, Excitebike. If anyone is unfamiliar with the original Excitebike, it was released for the Nintendo Entertainment System back in the 80s. It's a side-scrolling racer where you move between 4 different lanes to avoid obstacles and drive over boost pads to get the best time possible, accelerating with A and boosting with B by using turbo, but be careful not to overheat. So you may be wondering, what's different with this re-release? Well, for a start, the most obvious of all is that you can change from old school 2D or remastered stereoscopic 3D. I really was wondering how it was going to be possible to make an 8-bit 2D game and convert it into 3D without it looking awful. But they've done it, and quite spectacularly at that. Of course, it's going to be hard to show you how the 3D truly works, but as opposed to just adding depth to the image, turning the 3D slider up changes the whole perspective of what you're viewing. It really is quite impressive. Better still is a menu that allows you to adjust the 3D perspective. Even with the 3D not in full effect here, you can still see the difference the depth adds. I found myself playing with the slider for a good 15 minutes in amazement. It's quite possibly the best use of the 3D effect I've seen so far on the 3DS. There are other new additions that improve the playing experience. For example, it now runs in full widescreen instead of the original 4:3 resolution. One other really impressive aspect of the original game was the ability to create your own tracks to race on. The problem was that you couldn't save them once you turned your system off. Well, with this updated version you can save all of your data, so all your lap times and created tracks will never again be lost to the power button. This may not sound like much to today's standards, but it's a nice touch for Excitebike fans like myself. Although it would have been nice to share your tracks in some way online, but then again you can't really complain when this is free. Yes, that's right, as of right now this 3D remastered Excitebike is free. Great considering it's a launch title, but it won't be free for long. As of July the 7th its price will go up to its original asking price, £5.40 here in the UK. In other words, if you have a 3DS, download it right now. It's free and it's a great way to see what the 3D Classic series will offer in the future. But is it worth £5.40 come July the 7th? I'd say it all depends on how much you enjoyed the original, because if you've been a fan of the Excitebike in the past, I reckon you'll get £5.40's worth of enjoyment here. But if you haven't been a fan in the past, then there's not much here that will change your mind. If however you're new to this series and you enjoy time trials, creating your own tracks, and generally interested in impressive 3D effects, then I reckon the 3D reworking of Excitebike warrants its somewhat hefty price of £5.40. Just. Basically, download this right now. If however it stayed free, then I'd give this an 8 out of 10. But seeing as it won't, along with no online features, I can't give this any more than 7 out of 10.